You're
DJ Sonic.
What's going on, my H1T squad? Welcome back to the channel. So I just got home from work and I drove the pill machine. I was trying to wait to post this video. I wanted to do a little bit more tweaking with the tune, but I'm gonna leave it where it's at. So let me give you an update what's going on. So me and Dave been tuning this car for a while. He's been teaching me the ropes of how to dial it in and stuff. So I took it upon myself into finishing things out, and then Smutsy verified and went over everything, make sure everything was cool with it. And because I didn't want to put everything on Dave, because he got stuff he got to finish too. So the car is at 16 pounds, 20 degrees of timing. I had it at 20, but it didn't like it. My injector duty cycle's up there, but I'm pretty sure it could be smoothed out more if I really wanted to push it. But I'm gonna post these couple videos for you so you can see how it's doing. Okay, so Um, on the way to work last night, I was on an arm rep. I was just trying to gather speed. And the thing about a manual boost controller is it don't matter where your foot is, the position of the throttle percent, it don't matter where it's at. If that turbo spools up, it's going to full boost. There's no ramp wait, or it's no ramp up. So when it did it, I was like maybe a quarter of a throttle, and it went full boost, and my converter wasn't locked up, and the motor like revved this shit up, and I had massive torque slip. And after that, it was like stuck in lockup when I got off the freeway. Like it was bucking, like if you was driving a manual car and it's slowing down, and it was doing that. And then it was like coming out of gear hard. But then once I slowed down and went back in the first, then everything was normal again. Like I thought, like, yeah, it's done. But I done drove it and did like 6 pulls and it's still rolling. I don't know. Just gotta, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna ride it till it goes, I guess. We all knew this was gonna happen. But I mean, like I said, it drove fine on the way home. Like it's not even, it was making a whining noise too. And it didn't do it this morning. So I don't know. Maybe it fixed itself, I guess. I don't know. False alarm. I'll take it though. So now let's talk about my thoughts on the Turbo 3800. Turbo 3800 is definitely not for the weak of heart. There was a lot of things that had to have been addressed to do a turbo build, and you better have money set aside for transmission, because you will destroy the transmission. I mean, I'm already starting to see signs. Transmission itself is fine. It's the torque converter. This thing is going to kill the torque converter quickly. You could tell too, because like sometimes you get on it and it'll just pull hella hard, and then sometimes you get on it again and it feels like it's being held back. It's that torque converter. So what do I think about the Nick cam on the turbo car? Stock transmission, cool. Would I recommend putting a Nick cam on a turbo car? No, I wouldn't. It's holding it back, because the Nick cam, it was made to bleed off boost so you can run a smaller pulley. So I'm pretty much just throwing boost out the exhaust right now. Don't get me wrong, it's getting the job done, but I mean, it's putting power out like a max effort M90 build, pretty much what it feels like to me. But in all fairness, that could be partially my torque converter as well too. Also, if you turbo a 04 Plus, beware that you might want to do a return style fuel system setup, because I had 80-pound injectors on this setup and I maxed them out, and I'm on 1000 cc's now, and I'm running out of room quickly with those as well because of the non-return style system. So I need to upgrade this to a return style and run a adjustable fuel pressure regulator, and then that'll give me all the injector room I need to get this thing to do what it needs to do. So yeah, At first I wasn't going to take it to the dyno, but if it keeps acting the way it does, I'll still take it to the dyno. I would not expect anything above 500 with this. I would say 470s. It'll be in that vicinity. I don't expect to see 500 out of this. Maybe 470. If I was to race Sindel, which I'm gonna try as long as the transmission let me, I would say I'll probably get Sindel by a half car, maybe a car at most. So let's talk about the future plans for the pill machine. So I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to tune it anymore. I don't want to make it any faster anymore because the transmission is already saying please stop it. Plans though for this, it's going to get a Precision 3000 install, and I'm going to build a transmission. Once I get those two things done, the motor's going to be out, so then I'll put my MLS head gaskets on this motor, and I want to I had a front main seal leak. Changed the front main seal and it's still leaking because now I got to drill the hole in the timing chain cover where the front main seal goes. I got to drill that hole a little bit bigger because under hard boost it's blowing oil out the seal. So that's got to be done, and since that's got to come off, the Nick cam's coming out. So I might do a giveaway with the Nick cam. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet with that, but Nick cam's coming out, and IS3 turbo cam, Intense Stage 3 turbo cam is going in. Don't have to change my valve train, and don't have to do nothing with the fuel system except we're going to make it into a return style with an adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So that'll happen, and we're going to get a tire on this thing. I'm going to end up getting 18s or 17s for this car, and I'm going to get a good tire for this, and we're going to turn it up to 20 pounds. Maybe 21, 22, we'll see. But no, probably I'm gonna cap it at 20 because it's L26. So 20 pounds, 10 stage 3 cam, good tire. I'm gonna leave these brakes on there for now. I might put the GXPs on. It depends what I'm gonna decide to do with this tire setup. So I want to have it street strip so I can run it in the street and I can run it at the track. So that's my my plans. But for the rest of the year, I'm gonna just leave the car alone. I'm not doing anything else to it. I'm just gonna drive it. I was planning on doing some crazy racing and stuff with this thing, but I don't really think I should be doing that. I'll do a couple runs here and there. I'm gonna run the wife's car. I gotta get my revenge on it. And I'm gonna take it to the dyno, but other than that, if I gotta get down in some races, I'm gonna have to pull Hellboy out because I don't want the pill machine to be down. I want to be able to drive it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just I hope that was some information people want to know as far as turbo cars. And also, let me show you a couple tips too you might want to look into doing when you doing the turbo build. So first and foremost, you want to get you a boost gauge, 30 psi boost gauge. You want to get that for starters, and you want to get an oil pressure gauge because oil pressure is very important, and a fuel pressure gauge, very important, and a wideband gauge, very important. Get those. Now, if you're on a stock transmission, you want to at least get you a Transgo shift kit and get you a True Cool 30,000 BTU converter. Oh my God, a True Cool 30,000 BTU transmission cooler. You want to get that at least. All right, now next, get you an air-to-air intercooler. All right, get you a 6266 or a 6262. The ZZP kits come with 6262s. Now, what modifications you're going to need outside of a turbo kit? Recommend at least 130-pound valve spring so you can rev it out. Double roll timing chain. Take the stock lifters out. I would not recommend doing the Nick cam. Matter of fact, this gets you a turbo cam. Now I know Richard Holdner said you can run a supercharged cam, it don't matter, and all this other stuff. But my experience from riding in a turbo car with a turbo cam compared to this, I wouldn't recommend running a supercharged cam with that, because you just pretty much wasting the turbo. Because supercharged cams are made, superchargers, you need to get air in and air out as fast as possible, which means the cam needs to get the restricted boost out the engine as fast as possible. That's why it has more exhaust than intake. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, because turbo has more intake than exhaust, because it wants to coat it in to charge the cylinder. So get you a turbo cam. Like me, I'm about to put a 10 stage 3 in this thing as soon as this motor come out. Now, plenum work, okay? If you get an L26 plenum, a lot of people think this is an L36. This is an L26. It's just sprayed wrinkled black. Now, I plugged that. That's where the evap sensor would go. Now, if you are 04 plus, you can see where that wastegate's at. That's going to be a problem. So you might want to cover that. You're going to have to modify your brake booster so that'll fit in there. You could either weld that shut and then put a 3/8 nipple on the backside, or figure out something with that. And then here, do like I did and just weld it shut. Weld it shut and put a fitting on there, and then get you a vacuum distributor block. That will save you the hassle. Trust me when I tell you. All right, and then you're gonna want to plug your PCV ports. There's going to be that one right here, and then there's another one right here on the wear and take manifold. Terrell, post a picture. All right, so you want to get you a catch can. Now, I ran 2 valve covers with the oil cap, so I could run these 2 fittings. It's the LS1 oil cap with the 10AN barb fitting top, and then you want to run 10AN lines to your catch can. You're definitely going to want a catch can because you're going to block off the PCV. That and running a LS7 MAF gives you a lot of clearance away from the turbo, and it gives you more headroom. So grab you a mini AFC at the same time. If you're running a manual boost controller, these things will destroy your torque converter. Because you can't ramp the boost. So it's whenever, it don't matter where you hit the pedal, if that turbo spools, you're going to get full boost. And if you're at a certain percentage on the pedal, when it goes in the boost like that, the torque converter won't be locked up. And that's how you will destroy the torque converter. Ask me how I know. So, get you an electric boost controller. I want to say that's it. The 04 Plus, because Where my wastegate is, this is where the feed line used to go. The feed line was actually touching the back of the wastegate, so I had to relocate. I had to get an alternator relocation kit, a 6AM banjo fitting with a 45, and run the feed line to there. I had to do that, and then I had to that was already blocked off. I ran the that's my sending unit for my fuel pressure gauge, and that's what you got to do. So this is a FYI. If you get ZZP fuel logs, you're gonna have to do that, unless you decide to stay with the stock fuel rails on the F26. L36, I would still recommend getting an L26 plenum like this. You'll have to get an adapter plate and run a North Star or a stock throttle body, whatever you choose. But yeah, I think that pretty much seals all that up. There was a full walkthrough of me putting this car together. It's been a learning curve of, turbo builds, and it's not for the weak of heart. It's not for the weak. Mind you, this is a Z7 kit, so the Z3 kit's probably a lot more forgivable, a lot easier, because the wastegate actually goes back on the rear manifold where the downpipe bolts to. That's where the wastegate goes. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. What would I rate a turbo car? If done right, I give it a 9 out of 10. But it has its flaws, because it will destroy a transmission. I don't care what anybody say. But if you're going to be running low boost, manual boost controller is for you. If you're going to be running high boost like me, a manual boost controller is not for me. I need to get an electric boost controller so I can ramp the boost to come in instead of it destroying my torque converter. So yeah, that's going to wrap that up. I hope you enjoyed the clips or whatever. Don't be discouraged. It may look like it's not that fast, but it really is. But the torque converter is holding this car back. Like, sometimes it pulls hella hard. It's a hit or miss, because converters hit or miss. I may still put it on a dyno and see how it does, but we need a torque converter. So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna do a review video. I'm gonna do a video with every 3800 power adder, because I got them in my fleet now. So we're gonna do a review on Hellboy, Pill Machine, and Carnage and Sindel. Okay, so stay tuned for that. I'm actually now about to jack Hellboy up. I'm gonna drain out the Dex 3 out the F23, and I bought some synchro mesh because I am revving the piss out of it now. Let me open this up so y'all can see what I got. Bear with me real quick. Hey. Okay. So on the F23, you only put 2 quarts in. So I got 2 quarts of driven synchro mesh trans fluid. So this'll, now the purpose for this is, there was a Cobalt guy that reached out to me. His name was Trent, I think. He owns this shop. He specializes in Cobalts. But he was like, drain the Dex 3 out and put some synchro mesh in there, and it'll help with the shifting, especially if you're shifting past 6500. So I'm shifting at 72. So we're gonna try it out. Doesn't hurt, right? So I'm about to jack it up and put that stuff in, and then I'll give you guys an update on how that went on the next video. But as for this was mainly about the pill machine. Good news, kind of iffy news, but everything is okay. You know, we're gonna enjoy the car for a year. So I'm ending it right there. Catch you guys on the next one.